If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss this extra special free Money Matters Retirement Seminar. Choose 7 p.m. tomorrow, Hilton Rockwall, or 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters building in Plano. Learn to protect your retirement from a stock market crash and how to properly diversify your financial plan, the best time to take Social Security, and more. Ken Murray was featured in Forbes. Clients that followed Ken's advice were out of the market in 2008. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. A very interesting conversation with a very interesting CIA director, John Brennan. I have my very deep concerns about this man, but he surprised me on 60 Minutes on Sunday. What he said is that people don't value their privacy enough and should be working more to safeguard it. Privacy should never be dead. It's interesting that people always point to the government or others in terms of the invasion of privacy. Individuals are liberally giving up their privacy, sometimes wittingly, sometimes unwittingly, as they give information to companies or sales reps, or they go out on Facebook or their various social media. They don't realize that they are making themselves vulnerable to exploitation. And so, this is the director of the CIA who says that indeed privacy should never be dead. And yet the government, as we come to this conversation, is trying to kill it by virtue of forcing Apple to create a backdoor through the encryption into their iPhones. The problem is that for legal reasons, etc., this backdoor cannot be created and then be uncreated. Indeed, the person who created it would therefore have the knowledge to be able to do it, or the team, or whomever did it. Apple doesn't want this technology. They don't want it out on the street. They don't want the FBI to have it. Good heavens, nobody wants the FBI to have it. Because there are 330 million people who have no problems whatsoever keeping their good name intact and have no interest in harming America or their neighbors or what have you. There may be an additional 40,000, there may be an additional 40 million on the other hand, or 10 million that want to do just that, and to destroy the constitutional rights of everyone for the sake of these few, indeed 2 terrorists from San Bernardino, I believe is a huge mistake. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. I want to speak to somebody who gave us a call, and we lost him a second ago. We're trying to reestablish contact with that person because we want to hear what they have to say. This is way too big a conversation just to blow off. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. Let me get to Tony in Fort Worth. Tony, thanks very much for taking our call.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. John, we're in a position in this case, particularly this case, my life or my privacy. This is a national security, and we must have the information of that phone. Will lead us to so many information to protect other citizens.
Tony, Tony, if we don't have the Fourth Amendment, then we don't have the United States. And just because most of us are innocent, it does not mean that we are giving up our rights because we're innocent. This is a way for our government to do something that I think is reprehensible. This is a way for the government, in an effort to create an opportunity to catch a few criminals, to treat all of us, innocent and not innocent alike, as criminals. For example, we know who does most of the terrorism, 80% plus of the terrorism throughout the entire world. We know who that is.
Yes.
It is somewhere in the vicinity of 83-point-something% of worldwide terrorism is perpetrated on societies around the world by 18-year-old to 49-year-old Arab Muslim men.
Yes.
But in an effort for us to be either politically correct or not to be seen as being racist in any way, shape, or form, what we are doing is we are treating everyone as if they are a possible terrorist. That is wrong. And what it's doing is it's giving cover to the people who are actually terrorists, because the FBI and every other law enforcement agency around the world has to then go through everyone's records before they find the ones that are really important, so they can say, see, we were being fair. And you know what? We don't need to be fair under these circumstances. We know who is perpetrating the terrorism. We need to go after those people that do that until they stop. And I don't believe that the FBI having a backdoor into my cell phone is going to make that job even either better or more important to the society. Go ahead.
Yeah, just this case only. I agree with you 100%. I don't want the government to interfere and, just dig into my life. No, I don't. I agree with you. But this guy, particularly this guy, I shouldn't treat him as a citizen. This guy, maybe he's connected to a big net within the country, inside the country. I don't care about outside. I work 8 years in Iraq, and I know how it goes. But I am concerned about within the country, inside the country. So just for this case, I agree with the FBI.
Yeah, in this particular circumstance, however, from what we understand, Apple says that it's not able to do this just for one phone.
Yes,
as sophisticated as
security only.
But as sophisticated as this phone is, there are limits. And in order to be able to break into this phone, you have a key to get into all of them. Okay, Tony, let me ask you this. If indeed this key exists, the FBI asks for this opportunity to get into the operating system. The FBI now has that key. Do they use that when? When other times do they use it?
They shouldn't get it.
But the thing about it is that if they give the phone back, you see, they can't actually create this pathway in without giving the FBI, either on purpose or by accident, the actual software necessary to be able to do this with other phones. See, that's the issue. It can't be done without giving the FBI or anybody else for that matter the capability of being able to get into everybody else's iPhones.
Very good.
See what I mean?
Yes.
Tony,
I will see you the 25th.
I will look forward to it. I will look forward to it, my friend. Thank you so much.
Okay, John.
Make sure you reference this phone call, Tony, because I want to make sure I know who you are, man. Thanks very much for the call.
I will. We talked on the Twitter last week.
Oh, outstanding, Tony. Thank you so much, man. I'm looking forward to meeting you again.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
God bless you as well. Much. Thank you. Good man. Good call. Look, there is no wrong answer here. There's no wrong answer. What we have to decide here in this nation at this particular moment is we have to start holding the people responsible for this responsible. Everyone is not responsible for worldwide terrorism. We know who is responsible for 80% of it. 80% of it. And these are not my data. This is not my data. This data comes from the Rand Corporation. I have no ill will towards any particular group demographic, including Arab Muslim males between 18 and 49. But that's who's committing the crime. That's who the people are committing these horrific acts against civilization. Which means that if you are an Arab Muslim male between the ages of 18 and 49, you got a lot of people making you look bad. But I'll tell you what, making everybody look bad, treating everybody like a criminal, is an East German communist communist law enforcement officer's dream. And I don't live in East Germany. It's time to start going after the criminals. We know who they are. And if I've got to choose between trampling the civil rights of someone who is not here in this country as a citizen, but in here as a fiancé, or everybody else's constitutional rights, guess whose constitutional rights gets trampled as far as I'm concerned? That's right. The girl who just got here from Syria. Sorry. Let me get to Ed in Dallas. Ed, what do you think?
Well, as I told your call screener, if you give the government a millimeter, they will take 1,000,000 kilometers.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
There is not one single documented case where we have given the government a bit of latitude concerning our safety that they have not crushed us with it.
Exactly. Exactly. And you've got a perfect example that I just referenced earlier today. Driving is a privilege. No, it's not. Free travel is an essential bulwark of a free society. You don't get to download the contents of my iPhone because you pulled me over for a speeding ticket. Sorry, but that's being done. No. And if I get pulled over for a speeding ticket and somebody wants to download my cell phone and they want me to get past the encryption, I'm going to say no. And they can just punch in numbers until the thing wipes itself out because I've got a backup. And I'll just redo the phone. It's not because I'm a criminal. It's because I'm an American. And if we change the rules that make it possible for me to be an American, guess where we don't live anymore? America. And just because a bunch of guys 15 years ago decided to fly jets into buildings in my country, it does not mean that I want to give up my Bill of Rights. I'm not giving up my Bill of Rights for the sake of a bunch of terrorists, even if they did cost me 3,000 of my fellow countrymen. My Constitution's more important than that. It's more important than my life. It's more important than your life. This is the last best hope for free governance on this planet. And Apple's doing the right thing. And somebody has to, because our government is malfunctioning. Christine in Alba, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hey, John. Apple is absolutely right. That's a slippery slope we don't want to go anywhere close to. And hell, government didn't even look at Facebook, for crying out loud, and that's not even encrypted.
Exactly.
They could have gotten a lot of information off of Facebook had they even bothered to look. I think it's just lazy on their part. They're trying to just strong-arm Apple into committing corporate suicide by actually ruining their product. Who's going to buy an Apple product knowing that there's some kind of a back door out there, probably on Hillary's server, and the Chinese and Russians will probably have it before anybody else gets a hold of it?
Christine, thanks very much. All brilliant statements. I want to hear from you. This is the Wells Report. I'm Jon-David Wells. We'll be back with more in a moment. Patriot Mobile is the place to do your cell phone talking. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells for the Wells Report. Talk and text plans 10 to 15% lower than the big guys. Great smartphones, regular flip phones, whatever phone you want. You don't have to wait another couple of years because Patriot Mobile will buy you out of your contract. They'll let you keep your number. They'll save you money. And there's something else. Patriot Mobile is the only cell phone company in the world that donates 5% of every dollar to conservative causes, groups, and candidates. Plus, they're local. They're right here in South Lake. Let your neighbors take care of your cell phone service. The most important election of our lifetime is right here. Last time around, Big Mobile preferred Hillary over Obama, and stands to reap huge profits from the Clinton brand of crony capitalism in 2016. You can do something about that. Do not be a part of the hundreds of millions of dollars that big cell phone companies spend on liberal agenda items, candidates, and values. What you need to do is get in touch with Patriot Mobile, a conservative cell phone company for conservatives, and you can find this out for yourself by going to patriotmobile.com. Go to patriotmobile.com, tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report, and you will be a happy capitalist adventurer with your new cell phone from Patriot Mobile.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. They have a question for those of you who are over 40. Are you over 40? Still listening? Let's talk a little bit about life over 40. Funny things happen after 40. Put your phone's text size on extra large and you're still squinting. Arms just not quite long enough to read the paper, a book, a restaurant menu. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a way to get back to better vision? There is. Great news. The corneal inlay procedure. Corneal inlay from Climate Evangelista is specially designed for the over 40 crowd having a little trouble seeing things up close. So unless you're in love with the idea of reading glasses for the rest of your life, call Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Ask about the corneal inlay procedure. 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020, or visit myinlay.com, myinlay, myinlay.com for details. Climate Evangelista Eye Center. We can't literally turn back the clock. We can help you enjoy life with better vision thanks to the corneal inlay procedure. 1-800-714-2020 or myinlay.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-433-5915. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-433-5915. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-433-5915. 1-800-433-5915.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at Walker AC. The AC stands for air conditioning. It'll be a little while before we need that again. In the meantime, it's heat that is at issue. And let me tell you, Walker AC is my heating company as well. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating at walkerac.com and the magic phone number 972-4, Walker, 972-4-Walker. These are the people to go to when your system needs fixing, when your system needs replacing. They're never going to sell you a system you don't need. They're going to do the repairs right at a fair price. If they can't fix it, they'll tell you about it and introduce you to the best price on the best system for you. It's people you can trust. Isn't that what it's all about? Trust with AC and heating, and Walker AC is there for you at walkerac.com and 972-4-Walker, 972-4-Walker. If something's just not working right, if things are chilly when they shouldn't be, your heater's not working, give them a call. 972-4-Walker, 972-4-Walker, or walkerac.com.
Our sister station, KLTY, presents Pink Impact on May 13th and 14th at the Fort Worth Convention Center with worship from Carrie Jove.
We are the light of the world. We are the city on a hill.
Pink Impact features speakers like Priscilla Shire, Debbie and Robert Morris, Linda Lane, Christine Kane, Charlotte Gamble, and more. You can't miss this women's conference. 94.9 KLTY welcomes Pink Impact, May 13th and 14th. Get tickets and details now at pinkimpact.com. That's pinkimpact.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had numerous credit cards, and I was struggling with paying them off, so I made the call.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
The people at Trinity are very friendly. They will do whatever you need them to do in order for you to feel better about being in a very difficult place.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Apple is trying to stop the government from giving them a backdoor, from demanding a backdoor into the iPhone encryption system. This is something that we, the people of the United States, whether you have an iPhone or not, need to stand together with Apple and stop. What's at stake here is the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. These are our papers. The Fourth Amendment protects our papers. What's in these devices are those papers. Just because they are not committed to paper does not mean that they are not our intellectual property. If you read our papers as our intellectual property, that is the only thing necessary to update the Fourth Amendment to today's language. Indeed, if you are a textualist, as Scalia was, he would already say this is already here. Because, indeed, in this society, intellectual property amounts to our papers. 866-660-5759. Let me get to JD in Dallas. JD, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Jon-David. I appreciate you taking my call.
Privilege.
So basically what I was telling your call screener is that I'm a police officer in the Metroplex, and what you were saying about a police officer being able to demand your phone on, a traffic stop for speeding or whatever it may be to download your information, that's not possible for us to legally do that. The only way that we can even access a cell phone is if we believe that it has evidentiary content, and even still, we have to be able to articulate that and get a warrant for us to be able to access the phone. And it's a long and lengthy process for us to be able to access somebody's phone like that. I mean, it's not like an on-the-spot kind of deal.
Arguably, it would violate the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution as well as the Fourth Amendment and so on and so forth. And it's good to know that as a Dallas or Fort Worth or North Texas police officer, that you have to get a warrant for this. But listen to this. This is from the ACLU website. Smartphones can be a cop's best friend. They are packed with private information like emails, text messages, photos, calling history. Unsurprisingly, law enforcement agencies now routinely seize and search phones. This occurs at traffic stops, during raids of a target's home or office, and during interrogations and stops at the U.S. border. These searches are frequently conducted without any court order. Several courts around the country have blessed such searches. And so, as a practical matter, if the police seize your phone, there isn't much you can do after the fact to keep your data out of their hands.
Well, I can tell you, I've never really been a big believer in anything that the ACLU puts out.
Well,
they
are correct.
A lot of things, but I will say this. I can't account for every police officer in the country, obviously. But what I can tell you is that the department that I work for just emphasizes this significantly. And let's say that we run a drug raid or we run a search warrant on a known drug dealer's house.
Right.
If we find his cell phone in the house as a result of that search warrant, we can seize the phone. So we have to be able to articulate to a court why we think that phone is evidentiary. And he has his ledger on there or something like that.
JD, I want to read one more thing to you. I want to give you one more piece of news. Please stay there, and God bless your service to this society. We sincerely appreciate you. JD is a police officer joining us on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. More of this conversation is next. We've had some voting. We've had some debating. Now it's time for Texans to weigh in on the 2016 presidential race. The candidates are ready. Our state is ready. The question is, are you ready for the final debate before the Texas primary?
I know I'm ready, JD, and we're hoping everybody's fired up for our last debate watch party before Texas votes. It's Thursday night, February 25th, and we'll put it up on the big screen at 660 AM The Answer Debate Headquarters, Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas.
Mark Davis and I will be your hosts. The full Studio Movie Grill menu is available. Admission is just $10. Get your tickets now at 660amtheanswer.com. If you've become a regular for our debate events, or if this is just your first time, get ready to hear from from the candidates and the audience.
We look forward to welcoming you and hearing from you February 25th. Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley. Tickets just $10 now at 660amtheanswer.com.
Don't miss the last debate watch party before the Texas primary. That's Thursday, February 25th at the Studio Movie Grill in Dallas. This event is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services, Texas Alliance for Life, and Patriot Mobile.
Did your financial advisor lose 30% of your life savings in the last bear market? Are you afraid it could happen again? I'm Pastor David Mitchell, founder of New Venture on Wall Street, a company that specializes in teaching you how to cut out the middleman and take control of your money. At our 2-day training session, you'll learn how business principles from the Bible, combined with our powerful skill sets for stock trading, can give you the ability to make informed financial decisions for your family. Having control can give you peace of mind even in an uncertain market, because nobody cares as much about your hard-earned money as you do. New Venture on Wall Street. Build your legacy.
Coming to the Dallas Sheraton by the Galleria and Fort Worth Hampton Inn and Suites of Fossil Creek, February 19th and 20th. Only $99.95 for your entire household, plus a free ticket for a friend and full money-back guarantee. Call 877-907-TRADE. That's 877-907-8723. Or go to nvows.com. That's nvows.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. I love birthdays and anniversaries, always a time to celebrate, and they are celebrating 15 years at Abacus Foundation Repair, 15 years of serving North Texas. Now, this celebration is about to come to an end. People have been enjoying it too. You know what they've done? $1,000 off any foundation job with 10 or more pilings. And these are no ordinary pilings. We're talking about Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. So call about that $1,000 off offer at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. Call Abacus first if you even think you got a foundation problem. Cracks in the sheetrock, doors that stick, 972-406-9000. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation person on site at all times. You will be taken care of. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, A-B-A-C-U-S, Abacus Foundation Repair. The Abacus, little thing you can count on. Get it? You can count on Abacus. AbacusFoundationRepair.com, 972-406-9000.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-1851. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-1851. 1-800-700-1851.
Buena Brasa Brazilian Steakhouse, a 4-star restaurant in Grapevine that's truly a cut above the rest. With a gourmet salad bar featuring over 60 items, including fresh Brazilian salads, imported cheese, cured meats, and hot dishes, to accompany 16 sizzling tender cuts of meat, chicken, pork, lamb, and sausage. And for a limited time, you can enjoy the full Rodizio experience for only $38.95. Buena Brasa Brazilian Steakhouse, off Highway 121 in Hall Johnson and Grapevine. Online at buenabrasa.com. That's BOINABRAZA.com.
In these uncertain times, you can't afford to take chances. So come on out to the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend, February 20th and 21st at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to protect yourself and your family. Guns, knives, ammo, accessories, survival supplies, and much, much more, all in a safe, fun, and family-friendly environment. Parking is free, so be sure to come on out and buy, sell, or trade at the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Visit tier1gunshow.com. That's tier1gunshow.com. Be there.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Hang on just a couple of seconds here. I had a piece of gear here that I wanted to talk about. JD is a police officer in North Texas. Sir, once again, thanks very much for joining us. You were talking about how you actually needed to have a warrant to be able to get into someone's cell phone in Texas, as far as you know, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so talk to us about...
barring the exception of if they give consent. If I say, hey, you mind if I take a look at your phone, and you give me consent to look in the phone, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Sure it does. Sure it does. Here's what I've got. This is something that I've got here. Michigan State Police have been charged with extracting cell phone data during routine traffic stops. And listen to this. The Michigan State Police issued a letter clearing things up. It says that the Michigan State Police only uses the data extraction devices, DEDs, if a search warrant is obtained or if the person gives consent to have his or her phone searched. Apparently, the department's internal directive says only MSP specialty teams can use the department internal directive. The department's the DEDs on criminal cases, meaning they don't use them at routine traffic stops. The statement said the DEDs are commercially available and are used regularly to transmit data from one cell phone to another when customers upgrade their devices. Now, that being said, it was national news months ago, if not maybe about a year ago, that indeed the Michigan State Police were downloading people's cell phones on routine traffic stops. That's where all this information came from. And as you just said, you can't vouch for every police officer.
Right. Now, if the citizen says, hey, I've got nothing to hide, sure, you can download my phone. That's on the citizen. I can't hold an officer, at any kind of, judgment if the citizen is, I guess I would say, ill-educated enough to consent to something like that. I personally, even though I know I'm a law-abiding citizen who also happens to enforce the law, if an officer asks me to search my car or search my phone, I'm probably going to tell him no, because it's my privacy. And even though I know I have nothing to hide, I'm going to say no. That's because I'm educated enough to know that it's my right to say no. And it's on the citizen to have that knowledge to know that you have the right to say no to a consensual search request.
Indeed.
If you don't want to consent, then you don't have to.
Exactly.
Now, if the officer has enough probable cause and can articulate it in a warrant, and a judge says, yeah, I think that you got enough here that this is a known drug dealer and that you have a confidential informant who says that he keeps his ledger on his phone and you can access his phone, then sure, I'll sign off on that warrant. Now the officer has the ability to access the phone without the person's consent.
Okay, so I understand all that, and JD, I sincerely appreciate that. There is one other thing here. We've been reporting on a device that police agencies have that spoofs a cell tower, and indeed provides the opportunity to download available data from a smartphone, including locations where people have been driving and so on and so forth, while someone is making a cell phone call. What happens is that it's called Shark or something along that line.
See, basically gives you the opportunity or the ability to ping a phone.
And there is no search warrant for that because it gets everybody's phone in the area that it's operating in.
Right.
Now there are all kinds of police agencies that have these. They're everywhere. And oh, by the way, the reason that we do have all of this encryption is because of devices like this. And frankly, we, the people of the United States of America, didn't start it.
Right. Well, I'm a staunch conservative, borderline libertarian.
Me. Yeah.
So where I stand on it is, I deactivate all the GPS ability on my phone to locate my phone, aside from using my GPS while I'm driving to get to somewhere that I don't know. So too many people in this day and age want everybody to know where they are at all times.
And
they put that information out there. And you know what? If they publicize it or they use the device in a manner that it's publicly available, it's not just police, law enforcement that can access this. Hackers can access it.
Right.
Just about anybody can find where you are. And, I don't use it because I don't want a criminal who I've arrested and messed up their day to be able to locate me and come hurt me and my family, because that's a sheer absolute possibility. So anyway, all that to be said, if you personally choose to put that information out there or use the device in that manner,
all bets
I
are
don't
off.
see a problem in a law enforcement or anybody for that matter using that because you choose to put it out there.
Exactly.
It's when a law enforcement agency or a law enforcement officer does it against your will that it's a problem. And in these cases, if people are consenting to a search of their phone or they're personally choosing to activate the GPS function on their phone, then that's on them.
Agreed, sir.
So anyway.
Officer, thank you so much for your work. God bless you. Be safe, okay?
Happy to do it. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Absolutely. JD, a Dallas-Fort Worth police officer. He works in North Texas and spent some time with us and brought us the news. Good news, in fact, that you can't download your cell phone without a warrant. That is not true, however, for some of these other devices that download your cell phone just as a matter of course when you hit a cell phone tower and try to make a phone call. That's why there is encryption. Steve in Rosser, Texas. You see, this was the point I was trying to make. The reason that this encryption is there in the first place is because the government abused their right to be able to get to our phones.
That's right. I mean, well, first I want to say that was a good call by that officer. I like that a lot.
Yeah, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than having the pros listen to your radio broadcast and helping you out when you need information. It's awesome.
Yes, sir. Well, I tell you what, there's 3 points I'd like to make. Like you said before, the government created this by going outside the bounds of the Constitution to begin with. We wouldn't have to protect ourselves with all this encryption and everything if they hadn't been doing what they were doing. Point number 2 is political correctness has a lot to do with this too, just like the folks out there in California that wanted to say something but wouldn't say anything about these terrorists because they were afraid of being deemed racist or whatever, or getting a lawsuit thrown against them. And with that said, don't the people understand that, look, you can wrap this whole planet in bubble wrap, okay? Wrap it all in bubble wrap. People are still going to fall down and break arms and get bruises. Let people be free, stay within the bounds of the Constitution, and leave me the hell alone. And do some old-fashioned police work every now and then.
Hear, hear. Absolutely. Look, it is not profiling to do police work. It is not. It is not. Let me get to Dennis in Saxe. Dennis, thanks for waiting so long. Welcome to the Wells Report.
I haven't been waiting that long, JD. How you doing?
I'm good, brother.
Okay, my suggestion is that Apple, and it's a twofold purpose here. Apple publicly comes out and announces that they will help the FBI on that one particular phone if the FBI brings them the phone to their encryption engineers. Because, if this encryption is Apple's proprietary, which I believe it is, then they hold the encryption key.
Well, the encryption actually, it's actually an algorithm or a set of algorithms that Apple does not hold the encryption key to.
Oh, well, then that wouldn't work then.
See, here's the thing. Here's what's going on. Now, the FBI can break the encryption. They can get to the algorithm. That's not that hard. Okay, when you've got a Cray YMP, which is a 30-year-old computer now, it's an antique. When you have supercomputers that can go through every possible combination of algorithm, it's pretty simple to be able to break down the algorithm and get through the encryption. The problem that is existing here is that in the phone is a protocol where you have 10 tries to get through the security code. If you don't get through the security code in 10 tries, it dumps the phone. It dumps all the data. And what the FBI
in that
wants...
case, my suggestion might still work. So Apple goes ahead and opens the phone for the FBI, downloads the information for them, and then wipes the phone. Encryption and the code's protected. And if the FBI doesn't want to do it, then it exposes them as really for an agenda that really they don't care that much about the phone as a secondary or tertiary to them.
You see, here's the thing.
All the iPhones.
You see, here's the thing. It seems to me, when you start looking at this, we already have the crime solved. We already know what happened in San Bernardino. These people were communicating on Facebook. These people were communicating all over the place. They have the metadata from every phone call that phone already made. They've already got that.
They've already got that, yeah.
So that means not only do they have the metadata, but they actually have the calls themselves. There's nothing on that phone except maybe a group of locations where these people were driving, which is probably the information they want. If indeed the GPS was activated on the phone. So what they want is they want those locations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, okay, I understand all that, but it seems to me that that is a relatively minor part of this case, which is already solved. So the simple case of the matter is that why do you want to get this capability again? I'll tell you why they want this ability again is because they want to be able to get into an iPhone whenever they want to.
Anytime, any place, without
Anytime.
a warrant. Yep.
Well, it's not that they would do it without a warrant. They would probably do it. Okay. So welcome to life in the post-Patriot Act zone. You see, the reason that we all believe that our lives are an open book is because our lives are an open book, because our government is violating the Fourth Amendment for everybody in the nation every single day, probably 300 or 400 or 500 times a day. Every time we use our phone, it's recorded. They know which phone you're using.
Yeah, that's called call detail records, and that's something that the FBI can get at any time.
That's right. They can download it anytime they want to.
Of the phone call, I'm not sure if they actually can get that.
No, there's no reason. You see, the thing about it is this: it's like a card in a catalog, and a card catalog in a library. The metadata is when the call happened, what time, how long it took, blah 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 blah. That's the metadata.
Yeah,
but it refers to the actual.
It's called CDR.
It refers to the actual call. The metadata is useless without being able to go to where the actual call has been stored, which it has been. The FBI now knows where they can go to get that phone call and just download it. And all they have to do, and I'm not talking about just the FBI, I'm talking about anybody that's got access to the system. So what ends up happening is they've got access to everything, every text, every email, and it's all there. All they have to do is download it. Now, what they say is that they don't download it unless they have a warrant. That's what they say. But when they say that, they download your entire life.
Yeah.
And look at this. It's not just your cell phone. They have DART. I'm gonna give you a story in just a couple of minutes about DART wanting to put facial recognition on all their buses, all their trains, every vehicle they own. They have license plate scanners as you drive by. The computer grabs your license plate, a toll road. They keep track of you everywhere you go by name, without a warrant, all the time. And so what we have here is we have a surveillance society where everybody is a criminal. That way nobody can complain that they're being victimized by bigotry. This is all wrong. This is not the United States of America. This is not the Constitution. This is not the Fourth Amendment. This is not the Fifth Amendment. What this is some draconian crazy world where we woke up one day and everything we say is dutifully recorded by some computer somewhere. Because there are no human ears involved, because there's no human eyes involved, because there are no thought processes from a human being involved, the government says, well, nobody's violating anybody's rights. If the government has a system that has my intellectual property on it without a warrant, they violated my Fourth Amendment. Period. And my Fifth Amendment. Period. And this must stop. Just because there are criminals doesn't mean that everyone is a criminal. Treating everyone like a criminal so that we can get the criminals is criminal. This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Gibbs, the Boat Guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat ramps, marinas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboat, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. I've described the many ways the right arch supports can help. Look, for some people, foot pain isn't just an inconvenience. It's a threat to the very work they do.
A construction guy comes in and told me, I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. My feet hurt so bad. I can't do what I need to do at work. You got to help me. It's unbelievable how quickly the product changes some things for some people.
If you're one of those people with foot pain affecting your livelihood, real help is here in all 3 locations of Good Feet: Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. The adventure begins at goodfeetdfw.com. goodfeetdfw.com, where you can get out of pain today. If you're working out a lot and you want to avoid foot pain, arch support means everything. Men, women, all the shapes and sizes and styles you need from Good Feet. Again, they are in Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. Check them out at goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com. It's America's #1 arch support. goodfeetdfw.com.
Sometimes what you want most from your car is nothing. No headaches, no surprises, no anxiety when it's late at night and you're on some distant freeway in a thunderstorm. Owning a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz can be that anxiety-free experience on every level. You know you're in one of the safest and most thoughtfully engineered vehicles on the road, and with an unlimited mileage warranty, you can drive as far as you want for up to 3 years, with roadside assistance included. Your sense of confidence and adventure are as unlimited as the warranty itself. Now you can drive the car of your dreams and realize that nothing is everything. And during the Certified Pre-Owned Sales event going on now through February 29th, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says he'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit, so rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with the utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey, you! Know what happens when your CPAP system gets dirty? Germs like me move in and wreak havoc. Remember that respiratory infection you had a while back? That was us. And that nagging sore throat? Us too. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks for giving us a home and helping us help you get sick.
Don't let germs take up residence in your CPAP system. Evict them with SoClean, the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs in minutes. For a limited time, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-693-2699. SoClean is completely hands-free. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. The secret is activated oxygen. It flows through your system, destroying bacteria, viruses, and germs in no time. Call SoClean.com to get your risk-free 30-day trial while supplies last. Hurry, call 1-800-693-2699. 1-800-693-2699.
At GoDaddy, a domain name is the beginning of something awesome. Use it to create a website to promote your business, open an online store to sell your products, start a blog, build your brand. You can even connect your domain to your LinkedIn or Facebook page. GoDaddy customer support is always ready to help. What will you do with your domain name? Get a free domain with website from GoDaddy.com, starting at $1 a month. Annual purchase of website builder required. Price valid first year only. See website for details.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must-hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. We are extremely concerned about this mess regarding getting a backdoor into the encryption of an iPhone. We, the people of the United States, are protected by constitutional rights that have been set aside by the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act is now 15 years old and has been shown to be more of an abuse creator than a actual tool against terrorism. Countless cases of public corruption involving political figures have been prosecuted under the Patriot Act. None of those political figures had anything to do with terrorism. The actual terrorism arrests, because of the Patriot Act, are essentially statistically irrelevant. Now, I'm not saying we didn't have to do something, but I'm saying that something has come to what I consider to be a logical end. I think what we need to do is we need to undo a major part of the Patriot Act. We need to get rid of the Department of Homeland Security. We need to put the police functions back under the FBI. We need to start becoming Americans again and honoring the Fourth Amendment and stop downloading everybody's intellectual property. It's time to become America again. This is the Wells Report.
There's a thin line between love and hate. If your timeshare has crossed that line, you need the timeshare specialist at timesharespecialist.com. We've been transferring timeshare ownerships for over 12 years and have helped over 50,000 timeshare owners find new freedom. The experts at timesharespecialists.com can help you get rid of those increasing annual maintenance fees, complicated exchanges, locked-in dates, and resale scams for good. Selling your timeshare by yourself can be almost impossible. Our specialists offer real solutions that relieve you of the burden of timeshare ownership. It's the worry-free way to end the frustration, stop the financial drain, and restore the freedom to vacation when you want, where you want. If your timeshare has crossed the line, turn to the experts at timesharespecialists.com or call 800-264-9797. That's 800-264-9797. Got timeshare troubles? We have answers. Find yours at timesharespecialists.com.
Passing down generational skill sets and knowledge is part of what made this country great. We need to get back to that. I'm pastor and businessman David Mitchell. Join me and my team for a 2-day training event where we share the skill sets I learned from my grandfather. I've used these skill sets to generate wealth for my own family so that I never had to take a salary from the church. We will teach you the same powerful short-term trading strategies as well as longer-term investment strategies. That way you can pass the skill sets down through several generations of your own family and help get this country back on track. New venture on Wall Street. Build your legacy.
Coming to the Dallas Sheraton by the Galleria and Fort Worth Hampton Inn and Suites at Fossil Creek, February 19th and 20th. Only $99.95 for your entire household, plus a free ticket for a friend and full money-back guarantee. Call 877-907-TRADE. That's 877-907-8723. Or go to nvows.com. That's nvows.com.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. The official announcement could come as early as tomorrow. President Obama will visit Cuba next month. The last sitting president to make that trip, Calvin Coolidge, it was back in 1928. Days before Saturday's South Carolina Republican primary, that state's Governor Nikki Haley gives one candidate her endorsement.
I want a president that's going to fight back on the last 8 years that we've had to deal with, and also going to make sure they hold a conscience to every Republican to make sure they're doing what Republicans were meant to do, which is balance our budgets, reduce our debt, and grow our reserves. And I think Marco Rubio is the man to do that.
Donald Trump leads in the polls by double digits.
La gloria de Dios.
During a mass at the Mexican border city of Juarez tonight, Pope Francis prayed for thousands of migrants who died while trying to reach the United States. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
We've had some voting. We've had some debating. Now it's time for Texans to weigh in on the 2016 presidential race. The candidates are ready. Our state is ready. The question is, are you ready for the final debate before the Texas primary?
I know I'm ready, JD, and we're hoping everybody's fired up for our last debate watch party before Texas votes. It's Thursday night, February 25th, and we'll put it up on the big screen at 660 a.m. The Answer Debate Headquarters, Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas.
Mark Davis and I will be your hosts. The full Studio Movie Grill menu is available. Admission is just $10. Get your tickets now at 660amtheanswer.com. If you've become a regular for our debate events, or if this is just your first time, get ready to hear from the candidates and the audience.
We look forward to welcoming you and hearing from you February 25th. Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley. Tickets just $10 now at 660amtheanswer.com.
Don't miss the last debate watch party before the Texas primary. That's Thursday, February 25th at the Studio Movie Grill in Dallas. This event is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services, Texas Alliance for Life, and Patriot Mobile.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
It's time for the Texas Minute, brought to you by EmpowerTexans.com.
During a recent Senate hearing, government interest groups were at it again, passionately opposing greater ballot transparency for Texas taxpayers. Ballot transparency is critical, considering Texas has the second highest local debt per resident in the nation, higher than California. Reformers want to help taxpayers by putting basic financial information on local ballots, so Texans can make more informed decisions. While there is bipartisan support for ballot transparency, local governments are spending your tax dollars lobbying the legislature to stop it. It's a glaring reminder that reform will only come when Texans engage in their government. Although our work starts at the ballot box, it does not end there. Electing state and local officials who understand their job is to be a servant of the people, not the government, is only a first step. For EmpowerTexans.com, I'm Charles Blaine.
Learn more about the issues facing the Lone Star State and how to be an effective citizen at EmpowerTexans.com.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I figured I had a problem, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. In half an hour, we worked out a plan. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If you're in an endless cycle of paying on credit card balances that never seem to go away, then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity will consolidate your accounts, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. Call 1-800-990-6976.
Honey, it's almost time to vote in this year's Republican primary.
I'm voting for Kelly Sayre for Republican Party chairman.
I am too.
He's clearly the most experienced.
He's been a Republican volunteer for years and is the current vice chair.
True. I'm also impressed with his record as a business owner for more than 30 years. That means he'll be a good, steady hand on the party's finances.
Sayre for chairman.
Of course, experience counts.
We're voting for Kelly Sayre for Denton County Republican Party chair.
I'm Kelly Sayre, and I approve this message paid for by the Sayre campaign.
7-Eleven now has these amazing new breakfast melts, and they're only $2.99. Take it.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Our announcer decided to try the product. He was trying to explain 7-Eleven has 2 new melts that are toasted in-store, a bacon, egg, and cheese, and a sausage, bacon, and cheese. Both with thick-cut hickory-smoked bacon and aged cheddar cheese served on an artisan ciabatta roll for only $2.99. Yeah, only at 7-Eleven.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Listen to this. Ted Cruz has inched ahead of Donald Trump in a new national poll released today. The first national poll of the 2016 cycle that shows the Texas senator on top of the Republican field. Ted Cruz now has the backing of 28% of Republican voters nationwide, unseating Trump, who won the support of 26% in the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. But Cruz's 2-point edge is within the poll's margin of error, and it is not clear if the survey captures a real movement in the race or is simply an outlier. Florida Senator Marco Rubio comes in third with 17% support, followed by Ohio Governor John Kasich at 11%, Ben Carson at 10%, former Governor Jeb Bush in last place with 4%. The results are a major change from last month's NBC Wall Street Journal poll when Trump held a 13-point lead over Cruz, 33-20%. The sound you're hearing is the sound of screams coming from Washington, D.C., Cruz told supporters at a rally in Spartanburg, South Carolina. But what's happening nationally is indicative of the stakes in this race. He's correct. Ted Cruz, whether you support him or not, is someone who is solidly outside America's political mainstream. He is clearly a product of Americans' dissatisfaction with governance not based on conservatism. There is no doubt about the fact that the government of the United States, especially as currently impaneled, overreaches its constitutional mandates on a regular basis, and it has to be curtailed. Those guys in Washington aren't real keen on curtailing their power, which is one of the reasons why I agree that Apple is doing the right thing by refusing to give the FBI backdoor access to my cell phone. As much as I revere the FBI, and I do, I'm sorry, they don't get a backdoor to my iPhone. Not without a fight. Enough's enough. 15 solid years of Patriot Act violations of the Fourth Amendment is enough. Do I decry those violations? Not really. We signed up for it. Did we sign up for bulk collection of everybody's phone data? No. Where did that come from? How did that get done? Did you vote for that? I didn't vote for that. Did anybody you vote for that? Not me. So what we see is a government out of control and liking it. The Republican Party, the former party of small government, is now fighting Ted Cruz, who is the number one protagonist for a small government. Why is the Republican Party violently fighting against Ted Cruz, someone who arguably is the best messenger for something that has been a long-time party tradition? Small government, low taxes, Republican Party. Why is it that the Republican Party is fighting it? Because they don't want to give up the power. We just spent the last 2 hours talking about whether or not the government was going to have unfettered access to our cell phones every time they wanted it. What's to stop them? We'd never know. We would have no idea when they were watching us through our cameras on our computers or on our cell phones, or when they're dipping into our cell phone to find out where we traveled today. Not that they would need that. There's an issue coming to the American government. You know what it is? Our intellectual property and who it belongs to, and how we safeguard it. If I get the laws passed that I want to get passed, in other words, the reaffirmation of the Fourth Amendment, and I can go to a national archives and find my name and my information there without my permission, expressly making it possible for it to be there, somebody's career ought to get cooked. And I guarantee you that material is there. Now, make no mistake, a lot of it I put there. I'm a member of a couple of groups that asked me for information, and I gladly gave it up. Would do it again. Have no problem doing it. None. I'm okay with it. But here's the simple truth of it all. We have to safeguard our privacy. You don't get to have facial recognition without a reason to do it. You don't get to capture my face and identity without having a warrant to do so, or probable cause, or some compelling reason. DART wants to put that on their buses and on their trains. Why? So that they knew that on the 17th day of February at exactly 10:15 in the afternoon, or 10:15 in the evening, you rode a DART bus and you were there for exactly 22 minutes and 35 seconds, and you got on at this particular stop and you got off at that particular stop. And henceforth and forever, your name, your identity, all of the metadata goes into the federal data hub where it stays waiting for somebody to come up and ask for it. Forever. Drive down the road, license plate gets scanned without a warrant, and they suddenly know that your car, now know that your car was there at that particular moment, driving that particular direction, and they put together your entire roadmap. Do you believe anybody currently in power in the United States of America's government will do anything to curtail that power? No. So what does this mean? This means you need somebody from outside that power structure. Know anybody like that? Everybody talks about how Donald Trump may be a runaway train. Okay. What about Ted Cruz, the runaway train? What if he wins South Carolina? What about that? And you know what else? All these people, like the Dallas Morning News, who have not endorsed Ted Cruz, all these people that are not helping Ted Cruz are falling into a trap of their own creation. We, the people of the United States of America, we Tea Party conservatives, must work for the election of a constitutional conservative who will absolutely roll back government overreach. Is that Ted Cruz? Maybe. Is there anybody else in the race that promises to do that? So what do? What we do is we say, hey, Ted Cruz, the next time somebody calls you a liar, make them prove it. And that's exactly what Ted Cruz did. Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz pushing back on rival Donald Trump's repeated threats to sue over Cruz's eligibility to run for president. Listen, Donald has been litigious for many, many years. He uses lawsuits to intimidate people and attack people. If he wants to file a frivolous lawsuit, he can file a frivolous lawsuit. Cruz declined to say whether he thought Trump had standing to bring the lawsuit, which the outspoken billionaire businessman and a party rival maintains he has. He's got standing. He can put that up there if he wants to. I think it'll probably be a pretty quick trial. I mean, if anchor babies are American citizens, Ted Cruz is an American citizen. Done. Okay? There you go. And the best part, at least as far as I'm concerned, is that Ted Cruz is using all of these well-worn political tools against the creators of those well-worn tools. Finally, somebody as smart as those people who want to obstruct and create messes for all of us for want of a bigger government with more power, which is not something that this government needs or should even come close to having. So Cruz is now atop the GOP field for the first time in new national polling. Are you happy about that or sad about that, and why? That's what I want you to answer. Once again, I'm not going to argue with you. I just want to hear what you think. 866-660-5759. Ted Cruz standing up to Donald Trump. And you know what? I think Donald Trump, when he starts attacking Ted Cruz and calling him a liar, I think it's backfiring. I think people realize that Ted Cruz is not lying. I mean, if you've got Donald on video talking about Planned Parenthood and you run the ad, that's not a lie. Is it? No, I'm sorry. That's Donald Trump from 12 years ago saying something that haunts him now. There are other things that haunt him now. Now, is he that same guy? He says no. I take him at his word. But I'm trying to figure out just exactly what he's going to do because I don't know. He's a businessman. He'll do the right, smart business move. Is that the right move for the country? I don't know. I am sure, however, that we, the people of the United States, know. As James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, all of them said, hey, only the American people know who the president should be. Only the American people know what freedom is. Only the American people know what liberty is. They will define it for themselves. And those who would stop them from defining it for themselves are not Americans and do represent the oppression and tyranny that we fought a revolution to rid ourselves of. And that's simply the case. Politics is a strange animal. Donald Trump is doing a great job in the way that Donald Trump can do a great job. Ted Cruz is a professional. He's a professional politician. Is he giving Donald Trump all he can handle? Yes. Is that good? Absolutely, that's good. It's good for everyone. It's good for Ted. It's good for Donald. It's good for Mario. Good for all of them. Good for Jeb Bush. The message is clear. We, the people of the United States, want a small government, lower taxes, more freedom, and more liberty, not less. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Walker AC. The AC stands for air conditioning. It'll be a little while before we need that again. In the meantime, it's heat that is at issue. And let me tell you, Walker AC is my heating company as well. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating at walkerac.com and the magic phone number 972-4, Walker, 972-4-Walker. These are the people to go to when your system needs fixing, when your system needs replacing. They're never going to sell you a system you don't need. They're going to do the repairs right at a fair price. If they can't fix it, they'll tell you about it and introduce you to the best price on the best system for you. It's people you can trust. Isn't that what it's all about? Trust with AC and heating, and Walker AC is there for you at walkerac.com and 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER. If something's just not working right, if things are chilly when they shouldn't be, your heater's not working, give them a call, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or walkerac.com.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, call 1-800-400-8172. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, call 1-800-400-8172. That's 1-800-400-8172.
Do you use a CPAP device for sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your bulky in-home device everywhere you travel? Then you need to know about Transcend, the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It lets you sleep in total comfort anywhere you go. And right now, you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-775-1193. Transcend from minicpap.com is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can sleep comfortably even while flying. Transcend is our smallest, lightest, and most portable mini CPAP design ever, offering all the performance of a bulky standard in-home device. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day in-home trial. 1-800-775-1193. Again, that's 1-800-775-1193.
Are you ready for the vacation of a lifetime? Then get on board for the Storyteller Cruise with 660 AM, The Answer. Join us October 23rd through the 30th with Matthew West. Along with pastor and Bible teacher Greg Laurie.
The highest calling of God is what God has called you to be. There is no higher thing. We're all called to do something.
Selah. Mr. Talkbox, and more. You and your family will travel aboard Holland America's New Amsterdam as we travel to Grand Turks, San Juan, St. Martin, and more. Best of all, enjoy music and inspiration from Matthew West and Pastor Greg Laurie. Space is very limited. Get details now at 660amtheanswer.com. We'll see you on the Storyteller Cruise from 660 AM, The Answer.
If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss this extra special free Money Matters Retirement Seminar. Choose 7 p.m. tomorrow, Hilton Rockwall, or 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters building in Plano. Learn to protect your retirement from a stock market crash and how to properly diversify your financial plan, the best time to take Social Security, and more. Ken Murray was featured in Forbes. Clients that followed Ken's advice were out of the market in 2008. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report
Let's do a
is
debate.
on.
Watch this party
660 AM. The Answer.
There are 50 tickets left, 50 tickets left. We found that out today. I was pretty sure that we were going to run completely out of tickets to the Answer debate watching party Thursday, February 25th. I was pretty sure we were going to run out of them this week. And we're going to. So what you need to do is go to 660amtheanswer.com right this minute. Go to the Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley. And what you'll do is you'll get tickets to go to the Studio Movie Grill at 660amtheanswer.com by pushing the buy tickets for the 660 AM The Answer debate watching party. Got it? Good. This is going to happen at the Studio Movie Grill Thursday, February 25th. The only place you can get tickets is on the website. And like I said, we have 50 left. Those are going to go very, very fast. If you don't have your tickets yet, get them now. Mark Davis and I will be there. This is the last Republican presidential debate before the Texas primary. In fact, early voting is happening right now. So here we go. Let's work it out. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Let's meet at the debate answer, the Answer debate watching party. And we'll see you next Thursday. All right. That's a week from tomorrow. There. So Cruz may be pulling ahead. Are you okay with that or not? And why? 866-660-5759. If you have been listening to the Wells Report, then you have heard the name Tom Coburn. He's the former Oklahoma senator. He's angry about being quoted in the latest Donald Trump attack ad on Ted Cruz. Coburn called the quote an absolute fabrication. As a part of his never-ending criticism of Cruz, Trump's Twitter feed retweeted and pushed a quote ostensibly from Coburn, criticizing Cruz as one of the most dishonest people in Washington. Coburn never said it. During a phone interview with the Washington Examiner, the former Oklahoma senator fired back at Trump. It's an absolute fabrication. I've never said that, period. It's unfortunate he would use my name to say something dishonest. It's a total fabrication. To me, it's more loose play with the truth and loose play with words. Trump retweeted his social media director, Don Scavino, in turn quoting Coburn about the Texas senator. He is, without a doubt, one of the most dishonest people in D.C., read the quote Scavino attributed to Coburn. However, the quote appears to come directly from the progressive website, forwardprogressives.com, and writer Alan Clifton, who used the exact language to describe Cruz. Clifton wrote, "I've made no secret of my total disdain for Senator Ted Cruz. He epitomizes everything that's wrong with the Republican Party. He is, without a doubt, one of the most dishonest people in Washington, and in my opinion, a complete sociopath." Based on what, Mr. Clifton? What are you basing that on? I bet you it's not anything real. I want to know what he's basing that on. The Cruz campaign did not take Trump's use of the quote lying down, remarking it's more of the same from the real estate mogul who currently leads Cruz and Senator Marco Rubio in South Carolina, except, of course, in one national poll. There's a reason trumped up means phony, said Cruz. Very good. Very good. And Coburn said, I can tell you now someone I'm not going to vote for. Okay? So here we are, 866-660-5759. Ted Cruz out in front in a national poll. Are you happy about that, sad about that? And why? 866-660-5759. Interested in hearing what you have to say. 866-660-5759. You are listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. We'll be back with more coming up in just a moment.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-700-6757.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking new biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Think you might be bloated? Call now for a free trial of New Biotics and see how much flatter it makes your belly. You might be surprised. But hurry, call now for details while these free trials last. 1-800-700-6757. That's 1-800-700-6757. 1-800-700-6757.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-433-5915. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-433-5915. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-433-5915. 1-800-433-5915.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers more than 100 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserved in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 100 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
American Leak Detection. Leak detection without destruction. We find leaks without bashing a hole.
Hi, Will Nell with American Leak Detection. When the weather is dry, many people believe their foundation is failing, when in fact, what you have is a plumbing leak. Leaking pipes under your slab can cause movement in your foundation and expensive damage to your home. So before you have your foundation fixed, you should get your plumbing checked. With state-of-the-art technology, American Leak Detection is the only name to call. We are the original leak specialists. We can locate your plumbing leak without destruction and then repair it. Don't let a plumbing leak under your foundation go undetected or waste money on unnecessary foundation repair. Go to AmericanLeakDetection.com today. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
We're American Leak Detection. American Leak Detection.
You appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack when you can shave with engineered blades for half the price? Harry's will give you their starter set, complete with a razor, 3 of their world-famous blades, and shaving cream for just $15. And shipping is always free. We'll also give you $5 off your first order. So go to harrys.com right now and enter code 5577 at checkout. Code 5577.
Uber is an app that helps you make extra money just for driving your car. And because it's totally flexible, you don't have to quit your day job to make more money, because you can drive and earn whenever you want. There are 3 simple steps to start making money. First, sign up for free on your phone. Second, answer a few questions and get approved. And third, start driving. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up today at drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Ted Cruz has taken command. He's taken command of the GOP field for the first time ever in a new national poll. This, by the way, is an NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. Cruz is at 28%. Donald Trump is 26% within the margin of error. It's important to keep that in mind, but this is a remarkable improvement for Ted Cruz, who was 13 points behind Donald Trump in the last poll done by these same people. 866-660-5759. Are you happy that Ted Cruz is moving up in one particular poll, taking command? Are you happy with that or not happy with that, and why? Let me get to Mike in Louisville. Mike, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
How you doing? You know, I looked for that poll on the Fox website. I couldn't find it today. But
That's because it was on the CNN website.
Yeah, but usually something like that is news, and you would think it would be reported.
Interesting. Apparently not. It's almost as if Fox wants to support Marco Rubio. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he's their guy.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Ted Cruz is finally coming out, and he just needs to start calling it what it is. Trump and Rubio are a couple closet liberals, and this country can't survive with one party. So Ted Cruz is the only option. I'll hang up and hear what you have to say.
All right. Thanks very much, Mike. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know your intentions to hang up and listen to what I have to say. Let me get to Robin in Dallas. Robin, thanks very much for joining us. What do you think?
I think it's great. I hope it's the start of a trend.
Why?
Because if you look at conservatives and evangelicals, there's really not a comparison with Trump, nor with Rubio on conservatives.
Well, there's no doubt about the fact that,
as far as like agenda and accomplishment, still, again, there's no comparison.
Brenda, thank you very much. I mean, if you look at some of the things that have been going on, with regards to Marco Rubio, he has worked on several things that are not necessarily at the top of a conservative's list. That is simply the case. I like him. I like Marco Rubio and the way he debates. I like the way he talks. He's very, very good. My concern is, are we getting another one of these Republicans that says they're going to do something that they never end up doing, or doing something that we don't want them to do? Let me get to Domingo in Dallas, Texas. Domingo, what do you think?
Well, I'm trying to figure out, do our votes even matter?
What?
I mean, if we vote, does it even matter?
Sure it does. Why? Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, because the electrical thing...
The Electoral College.
Right. They're the ones that decide,
No.
All this stuff that's going on right here, it just reminds me of somebody just rubbing your gums because you're teething. I mean, but does it really matter?
Yes. Yes, it does. And Domingo,
Why and how? Tell me that.
I will if you listen. Just listen. Here's what happens. The electors... You have the same number of electors as you do senators and House of Representatives members in the state. These people are the safeguards that the actual election results actually are transmitted to the rest of the nation. In other words, the electors vote as the state votes. It is a handshake agreement by the election officials and the electors, but the electors do vote the way the state votes. So it is not something that you have to fear, because the electoral college is there to take into consideration voter fraud. Everybody's worried about, say, for example, whether or not somebody shows an ID, whether they're a real, actual registered voter. Well, the electors pay attention to all of this stuff during the elections themselves. They watch all this, they read all the reports, and they make sure that the actual results of the elections are indeed accurate as to what the people of the state want. And then they vote that way. So your votes do count, Domingo.
So basically, they're the watchdogs.
They're the watchdogs, exactly. They make sure that all these people that say, okay, we don't want the Border Patrol to stop anybody coming across the border. We don't want them to track their movements. We don't want them to give them a promise to appear. We don't want them to do anything, which is basically what's happening right now, according to the administration. And what they say is, well, some of those people are going to try to vote. And if there are too many of them, if they believe that the vote has been biased in one way, shape, or form, then they can do something. They can take steps to make sure that the accuracy of the election is as the people of the state want, not the people who are living in the state and voting illegally want. That's the way it works. That's why it's there.
Hey, thanks. You know what? Nobody ever explained that to me.
Well,
nobody tells anybody anything about like that.
You see, that's why you listen to this broadcast, Domingo.
I know, I do, and I learn a lot. Thank you.
We will take care of you, I promise. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report. So are you happy that Ted Cruz is leading the way? Yes or no, and why? 866-660-5759. There is something that I am very concerned about here. I figured it was going to take a little longer than this. However, I hate to report that I am wrong. As you know, the great American and conservative jurist Antonin Scalia died last weekend. We are now at Wednesday on the week after he died, and already we have the first article, this one from the Washington Times, with the headline, GOP shows signs of backing down from vow to block President Obama's Supreme Court of the United States pick. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Kentucky Republican, and others have vowed to block any Obama nominee, saying the next president should select Justice Scalia's replacement. President Obama, on the other hand, called on the Senate to give his eventual Supreme Court nominee a fair hearing in his bid to replace the late Justice Antonin Scalia, as cracks emerged in the Republican leadership's position of automatically blocking any nominee. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Kentucky Republican, and others, including presidential candidates Ted Cruz of Texas, Marco Rubio of Florida, have vowed to block any Obama nominee, saying the next president should select Justice Scalia's replacement. Mr. Obama, as you know, the president blasted that rationale. This is the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. It's the one court where we would expect elected officials to rise above day-to-day politics. I understand the stakes. I understand the pressure the Republican senators are undoubtedly under. This would be a deciding vote. But that's not how the system is supposed to work. Even before Mr. Obama stated his case, there were signs Republican unity was wavering on the notion of blocking any nominee out of hand. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, Iowa Republican, didn't rule out confirmation hearings and a vote by his panel on an Obama selection. I would wait until the nominee is made before I would make any decision. In other words, take it one step at a time. Asked whether he thought the controversy over filling the court vacancy might endanger his reelection chances this fall, Grassley said, I think I have a responsibility to perform, and I can't worry about the election. I've got to do my job as a senator, whatever it is, and there will be a lot of tough votes between now and the next election. Senator Grassley, if you move forward with President Obama's SCOTUS pick, I'm going to work to unseat you at the next possible chance. His comments appear to be a softening from a statement shortly after Justice Scalia died when he said it was standard practice not to nominate or confirm candidates for the Supreme Court in an election year. It only makes sense that we defer to the American people who will select a new president to select the next Supreme Court justice. That is the right thing to say. Backing off of that is the wrong thing to say. Senator Grassley, your Democratic enablement is showing. I think if we fall into the trap, if we simply say sight unseen, we fall into the trap of being we fall into the trap of being obstructionists. Yes, that's what we do. Just like the Democrats were with President Bush. Obstructionists, indeed. Embrace it. Hold it to your bosom, and feel good in the obstruction. Senator Tom Tillis, the North Carolina Republican, voiced caution about blocking any Obama nominee automatically. Yeah, we could fall into the trap of being called obstructionists. No. It's not a trap. It is a clear direction from your constituents. Be obstructionists. Or, Senator Tillis, I will also do my best to work for your unseatment at my next opportunity. If he puts forth someone we think is in the mold of President Obama's vision of America, then we'll use every device available to block that nomination. What are you guys talking about? Just say no. Just say no. A top aide to Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid, the Nevada Democrat, responding to Mr. Tillis's comments, predicted that Mr. McConnell will eventually retreat from his stance of blocking any Obama nominee without a hearing. Senator McConnell's rash and unprecedented decision to deny a Supreme Court nominee a fair hearing and floor vote has put Republicans in an untenable position, so it is not surprising to see cracks appear so quickly. The next step in this process will be for Senator McConnell to back down and give President Obama's nominee a hearing and a floor vote. That's a simple reality. No, it's not. It's simple political suicide. A lame duck president has not been able to successfully put forward a Supreme Court justice in the last 80 years. The White House said Mr. Obama will nominate someone to fill the vacancy after the Senate returns from its recess next week. Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson Jr. said Mr. McConnell and other Republicans are making a mistake by vowing to block any Obama nominee. They should recalibrate immediately. No, they're not. Sorry, sir. That is not the case. Mitch McConnell has been joined by presidential candidates Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Donald Trump in saying that the president's nominee to the court should not be considered by the Senate. That's an awful lot of Republicans making a big mistake. You're exactly right. It's not a mistake. It's the right thing to do. The number 3 Democrat in the Senate, Charles Schumer of New York, said he expected Mr. Obama to select a consensus candidate who could get bipartisan support and predicted a huge public outcry that would force Mr. McConnell to back down. If that guy backs down, if he backs away from this, that's the end of the Republican Party. Senator Patrick Leahy of Vermont, the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, said refusing to do anything means you're voting maybe. That's a cowardly way out. Mr. Leahy said the last time the court was down a jurist was during the Civil War. House Speaker Paul Ryan said he supports the idea of blocking any Obama nomination to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is not an extension of the White House. The president has absolutely every right to nominate someone to the Supreme Court, but Congress, as an equal branch, has every right not to confirm someone. Mr. Ryan said, rightly so, election years are poor times to make important decisions of this nature. We are knee-deep in a presidential election. I think the precedent for not filling a Supreme Court vacancy in such a time is justified. The speaker also said Mr. Obama's nominees to the High Court, such as Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor, have shown tendencies to support the president's overreach on executive power. Do you honestly believe that President Obama is going to nominate someone that you would be happy with on the Supreme Court? Ted Cruz said it best. We are not going to surrender the Supreme Court of the United States to the president for a generation in an effort to make nice in a political arena. This is the Wells Report.
Take a second to think. I mean, how many Bibles do you have laying around your home? 2, 3? Now think about all the places you can go to buy one. There's a store on every corner or a Bible app in every phone. We've become so numb to how easily accessible a Bible can be. But what if your pastor had to walk a day's journey to the nearest Bible, memorize a chapter, then walk back to his church to preach that message he just memorized? That's the case for the churches planted by Harvesters throughout Africa. Harvesters is a ministry focused on planting churches in Muslim-crowded communities throughout Africa. There's a problem, though. Some of these churches don't even have one Bible. Either Muslim groups have burnt them or there's not access to one in the native tongue. For a one-time donation of $15, you can provide a Bible to a pastor in one of these churches. Just go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on the Harvesters banner to learn more. Go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on the Harvesters banner right now.
John Truitt, CEO of Simple Sleep Services here. You've probably heard Mark Davis talk about sleep apnea and snoring. If you're ready to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea, you have options. Wear a big, bulky CPAP mask, have surgery, and deal with the recovery and downtime, or go with the Simple solution. The Simple Sleep system from Simple Sleep Services is a compact, comfortable, custom-fit solution that's proven to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea. It's covered by most medical insurance. No mood-killing mask, no pain or downtime, just a better night's sleep for you and the one next to you. Stop dreaming about a better night's sleep. Learn more at simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. That's 469-685-1700 or click simplesleepservices.com. The choice is simple. Go to simplesleepservices.com. Offices conveniently located in both Dallas and Fort Worth. Stop snoring, sleep healthy, live life.
Pop quiz for all business owners. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, which one of these can you lose? Your home, your car, or your life savings? The answer? All three. Because if you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued, it's you too, which means you could lose everything. Once business owners realize the risk of not being incorporated, they usually scramble to incorporate or form an LLC. To make it quick and easy, Incorporate is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate in just 10 minutes. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now, 1-800-733-1035. Protect your financial future. At Incorporate.com, they don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide, 1-800-733-1035. Hurry while supplies last. 1-800-733-1035. That's 1-800-733-1035.
Hey, you! Know what happens when your CPAP system gets dirty? Germs like me move in and wreak havoc. Remember that respiratory infection you had a while back? That was us. And that nagging sore throat? Us too. So I just want to say thanks. Thanks for giving us a home and helping us help you get sick.
Don't let germs take up residence in your CPAP system. Evict them with SoClean, the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs in minutes. For a limited time, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-693-2699. SoClean is completely hands-free. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. The secret is activated oxygen. It flows through your system, destroying bacteria, viruses, and germs in no time. Call SoClean.com to get your risk-free 30-day trial while supplies last. Hurry, call 1-800-693-2699. 1-800-693-2699.
In these uncertain times, you can't afford to take chances. So come on out to the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend, February 20th and 21st at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to protect yourself and your family. Guns, knives, ammo, accessories, survival supplies, and much, much more, all in a safe, fun, and family-friendly environment. Parking is free, so be sure to come on out and and buy, sell, or trade at the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Visit tier1gunshow.com. That's tier1gunshow.com. Be there.
The year is not so new anymore, but your carpets can look that way with Zero Res. Hey, Mark Davis, my friends at Zero Res just gave me a fantastic carpet cleaning, and I'm offering it to you. $33 a room. $33 a room by calling 214-37-CLEAN. Then, plus 100 square feet of tile cleaning for free and a $50 gift card from Estilo Gaucho. It is pre-treated, clean, and sanitized. Best carpet cleaning ever from my friends at Zero Res. $33 a room. Call them now for the special. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
660 AM The Answer. 660amtheanswer.com. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM The
Answer. You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. So here we go. Paul Ryan is the guy that's keeping his brain locked on reality. The president has tried everything he can to empower the executive branch at the expense of the legislative branch. The Supreme Court and his nominees have all contributed to that. Those he has placed on the bench already have worked to that end. So not only does Congress have the authority to stop a nominee, it has an obligation to defend itself against a president and a radically altered court that would continue to seize the legislative branch's powers. Mr. Obama, the Republicans are being hypocritical. That's a delay for the Supreme Court in election years is not in the constitutional text. It's not in the constitutional text. It's in the simple realities of the way things work and the way things don't work. I'm amused when I hear people who claim to be strict interpreters of the Constitution suddenly read into a whole series of provisions that are not there. That's wishful thinking, Mr. President. That is wishful thinking. And you're on the record as saying so. When you were a senator, you stopped President Bush. This is what it feels like when you're the president. Hope you enjoy it. Okay? So there you go. No. Mitch McConnell, don't do it. No Obama nominees for the Supreme Court. Stop it. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says he'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit. So rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with the utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hi, I'm Brendan Burchard. Some people call me the world's highest paid motivational trainer, and some people call me crazy because I've just authorized a nationwide giveaway of my recent New York Times bestseller, The Motivation Manifesto. In the next 24 hours, I want to give away as many free books as possible. To get your hardcover copy, call 1-800-600-7769 or go to motivationbook.com. If you want to reach your true potential, personally, professionally, or financially, you need this book. You'll discover how to stop feeling tired and overwhelmed, identify the major enemies keeping you from living your dreams, and learn the secrets to defeating them. I'll teach you my proven strategies to start attaining the levels of drive and personal success you're craving. Financial freedom, emotional freedom, time freedom. Due to high demand, I can only offer one free book per household. To get your free book while supplies last, call now. 1-800-600-7769. That's 1-800-600-7769. Or go to motivationbook.com.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. President Obama is expected to visit Cuba next month, the first such visit by a sitting U.S. president since 1928. The White House expected to make the announcement as early as Thursday. Apple says it will fight a court order demanding the company provide software to allow the FBI access to an iPhone of one of the San Bernardino terror attack shooters. The White House now weighing in.
They're simply asking for something that would have an impact on this one device. The president certainly believes that that is an important national priority.
White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest. A big endorsement for Marco Rubio. At a rally Wednesday night, South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley announcing her support for the Florida senator.
If we elect Marco Rubio, every day will be a great day in America.
Haley's endorsement comes just days before Saturday's South Carolina Republican primary. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
Are you in the market for a new gun? Is there a specific brand that you're looking for? Or are you looking to buy from someone you trust and someone who has the knowledge to help you? You could get your new gun anywhere, but no place will have a selection better than Texas Gun Pros. When it comes to buying guns, Texas Gun Pros is here to help. Come in and let our guys match you with the perfect gun to meet your needs, whether it's for hunting, personal protection, or just having fun at the range. Texas Gun Pros has it. With our local inventory and vast online catalog, you have access to thousands of guns from the country's best distributors. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by our North Richland Hills location or visit us on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-433-5915. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-433-5915. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-433-5915. 1-800-433-5915.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis, my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. Here's something to put on the to-do list for 2016. How about saving somebody's life? How about your own? Oh, how can we do that? Well, you can go to Viascan of Las Colinas or recommend it to somebody you love. Go to Viascan of Las Colinas. Why? Because in that magnificent business, John Duncan and the crew are saving lives every day simply by showing them what's going on inside their own bodies. You ever hear of somebody dying with no sign, no advance warning of a heart attack or cancer? Well, the reason that happens is nobody takes a look at what's going on in their own bodies. Viascan of Las Colinas. It's what they're all about. This scan technology has been around forever, crazy expensive, but not at Viascan of Las Colinas. Heart scans, body scans looking at cancers, the carotid artery neck scan for stroke risk, all of these things made affordable for you so that you can live. Find out what's going on in your body. Be what they call Viascan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
One of the things about winter is our air conditioning bill goes down quite a bit, but our heating bill goes up quite a bit. So you start looking at the balance and realize that you're still spending $300 or $400 or $500 a month on utilities. You're giving that away, and at the end of the year, you've spent $6,000 and you have absolutely nothing to show for it. You know what you could do? You could put in some energy efficient replacement windows. One of the things that our windows do is pay for themselves in 3 to 5 years. We all want to stay more comfortable. We all want to live in a nice environment. One of the ways to do that is quality replacement windows. Hi, I'm Dave Trainer of The Window Connection. I'd love the opportunity to come out, look over your home, show you what some options might be, bring you samples. We offer 10 different manufacturers and would love to show you what new replacement windows can do on your home.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
And the Grammy goes to. And the American Music Award goes to.
Mr. Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Hi, we're Third Day. We're forming sort of one new band called SCC 3D.
Our sister station's doing it again.
The 94.9 KLTY concert series welcomes
Stephen Curtis Chapman
with Third Day
at the Verizon Theater on April 30th.
Get your tickets right now at AXS.com. AXS.com. 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. For a long, long time, I have said that every 4 years, the United States of America collectively loses its mind when the hard task of picking a president is thrust upon us. Typically, the losing of the mind can be best observed by people who, regardless of the truth or realities around them, cling stubbornly to a candidate who has been proven to be totally out of contention for the highest office in the land, and yet will argue vociferously no matter how much proof, reality, facts you throw on the table. Now, normally it is a voter who does this. It's not so much a candidate, but there are candidates who are specially touched by the gods of American media that are able to say anything, no matter how flipping stupid it is. Okay? Let me give you an example of just such gobbledygookian foolishness. I didn't say what I wanted to say. In a speech in Harlem yesterday, Hillary Clinton suggested, listen to this, there was an element of racism in the Republicans' insistence that President Obama should allow the next president to fill the Supreme Court vacancy instead of making the nomination himself. Listen to what Clinton said. Republicans are treating Mr. Obama as if he's not the real president. And she's accused them of talking in coded racial language about takers and losers. They demonize President Obama, encourage the ugliest impulses of the paranoid fringe. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can read this again and try to glean further meaning from it, because I didn't get a lot of that in the first reading. Republicans are treating Mr. Obama as if, quote, he's not the real president, Hillary Clinton said, and accused Republicans of talking in coded racial language about takers and losers. They demonize President Obama, encourage the ugliest impulses of the paranoid fringe. Coded racial language? Coded racial language. What is she talking about? Then she tamps the whole thing down with this. This kind of bigotry has no place in our politics or our country. What bigotry is that? Where is your assertion that Republicans treat Mr. Obama as if he's not the real president? I'm sorry. He's been treating President Obama as the real president ever since he came to office. What are you talking about? Please do answer, ma'am. Bigotry has no place in our politics in our country. That is a wonderful statement that had nothing to do with what she said above it. Her address outlined how she would tackle systemic racism in America and focused in part on education. She proposed a new $2 billion plan to end the school-to-prison pipeline that disproportionately affects African American children. We've seen a significant increase in the police involvement in school discipline, especially in schools with majority black students, said Clinton, speaking at a Schomburg Center for Research in the research in black culture in the New York area. A classroom should be a classroom should be a safe place for our children. It should be a safe place. But how do you guarantee a safe place? How do you guarantee that classroom being a safe place without somebody in there that could take part in, say, stopping a gunman from slaughtering a bunch of them before they were shot by the teacher? We've seen a significant increase in police involvement in school discipline, especially in schools with majority black students. We shouldn't even have to say that. I don't think that a classroom should be a safe place for our children. Sure, that's what it should be. But you make it an absolute dangerous place for them to be because you don't want anybody with any weapons to be able to protect from the people who come in there and try to kill people with weapons. That's what we call hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Clinton's new plan would put teams of social workers and other specialists in schools with high rates of suspension and student arrests to reform disciplinary protocols in favor of in-school intervention over police action. You know what? That's exactly what they're doing at major colleges around the nation to protect college athletes from rape allegations. That is exactly what they do. They reform disciplinary protocols in favor of in-school intervention over police action. Because what we're doing is we're creating an entire generation, another entire generation of aggrieved females who attack males in any way they possibly can, especially through the process of anti-female microaggressions. It's not that he ever touched you or had anything to do with you, but the microaggressions were unmistakable, leading to the fact that he saw you as nothing more than a sex object. Therefore, he's guilty of rape, and that is that. And the school will take care of it because they're not bothered with that crazy little bugaboo of due process. All we do is ruin some guy's life, and who cares about that? Why do we worry about that? Clinton's new plan would put teams of social workers and other specialists in schools with high rates of suspensions and student arrests to reform disciplinary protocols in favor of in-school intervention over police action. We want districts to know that if they do the right thing, we'll have their backs. Schools who refuse to reform will face intervention from the Department of Education. That's right, because we have seen the ultimate abuse of executive power, and we're planning on continuing it. This is not an education issue. It's a civil rights issue, and we cannot ignore it any longer. Really? Clinton's proposal is part of a sweeping agenda to break down barriers facing African Americans. Last week at a campaign stop in South Carolina, she unveiled a $125 billion economic revitalization plan that would provide support for youth job programs, minority-owned small businesses, and programs that help those who have served time in prison to reintegrate into society. You know, just like the $168 billion plan that the Maryland government put forward in Baltimore. She and her rival, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, are vying for minority support. Clinton has cast herself as the candidate committed to fighting against injustice in all parts of American life. In her speech, Clinton also touched on the student debt crisis, the need for criminal justice reform, and better training for police departments. We aren't a single issue country, she said. We face a complex set of economic, social, and political challenges. They are intersectional. They are reinforcing, and we've got to take them all on. Yeah. Mrs. Clinton said that she believes that race still plays a significant role in who gets ahead in America, and that any candidate seeking voter support must grapple with that fact. Okay, whatever. Whatever. I still don't know what GOP's coded racial language is, and neither does anybody else. Do you remember dog whistle racism? Yeah, dog whistle racism. That's where people are saying racist things, but they're at such high frequencies nobody can hear them. Well, this is a follow-on to that. Coded racial language. To our friends in Maryland, the green leaf faces the beautiful orange flower. There. That was a racist statement. Do you know what it means? It means nothing. Stop thinking. What's the matter with you? I was playing. But that's what we're going to be dealing with here. This whole thing is so gobbledygooky and crazily stupid. It absolutely tears at the very fabric of America. We have gone backwards 20 years in race relations in this nation after electing the first African-American president in the nation's history. You would think it would get better, not worse. But the simple case is that it has to be worse, because without it being worse, we don't have the divisions that we can trade on, that we can't get people to vote our way. Coded racial language, my big butt. Coded racial language. Jeez. Is there any possible way that Hillary Clinton could be making a bigger fool out of herself or be more divisive? Is there any way that Hillary Clinton could be more divisive in the United States? You know, one of these days, and I think it probably happens pretty much every time she tries this stuff, she's not helping herself with the black vote. She's not. Coming up in just a couple of seconds, the latest on Hillary's email server as we continue into the night on 660 AM The Answer.
The Mark Davis Show.
Mark Davis Show. Look at the things changing before our eyes. Our understanding of the mindset of the Trump voter base. Hillary's lead in Nevada. Every day brings changes. I'll tell you something better not change. Republican resolved to block any hearing on any Obama Supreme Court nominee. Will the Senate stand firm? We'll take a daily check on that and examine overnight news as well. Join us for a busy Thursday show.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM The Answer.
Are you ready for the vacation of a lifetime? Then get on board for the Storyteller Cruise with 660 AM The Answer. Join us October 23rd through the 30th with Matthew West. Along with pastor and Bible teacher Greg Laurie.
The highest calling of God is what God has called you to be. There is no higher thing. We're all called to do something.
Selah. Mr. Talkbox, and more. You and your family will travel aboard Holland America's New Amsterdam as we travel to Grand Turks, San Juan, St. Martin, and more. Best of all, enjoy music and inspiration from Matthew West and Pastor Greg Laurie. Space is very limited. Get details now at 660amtheanswer.com. We'll see you on the Storyteller Cruise from 660 AM The Answer.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-700-6757.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Think you might be bloated? Call now for a free trial of New Biotics and see how much flatter it makes your belly. You might be surprised. But hurry, call now for details while these free trials last. 1-800-700-6757. That's 1-800-700-6757. 1-800-700-6757.
If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss this extra special free Money Matters Retirement Seminar. Choose 7 p.m. tomorrow, Hilton Rockwall, or 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters building in Plano. Learn to protect your retirement from a stock market crash and how to properly diversify your financial plan, the best time to take Social Security, and more. Ken Murray was featured in Forbes. Clients that followed Ken's advice were out of the market in 2008. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
7-Eleven now has these amazing new breakfast melts. And they're only $2.99. Take it.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Our announcer decided to try the product. He was trying to explain 7-Eleven has 2 new melts that are toasted in-store, a bacon, egg, and cheese, and a sausage, bacon, and cheese. Both with thick-cut hickory-smoked bacon and aged cheddar cheese, served on an artisan ciabatta roll for only $2.99.
Only 7-Eleven.
Yeah, only at 7-Eleven.
The year is not so new anymore, but your carpets can look that way with Zero Res. Hey, Mark Davis, my friends at Zero Res just gave me a fantastic carpet cleaning, and I'm offering it to you. $33 a room. $33 a room by calling 214-37-CLEAN. Then, plus 100 square feet of tile cleaning for free and a $50 gift card from Estilo Gaucho. It is pre-treated, clean, and sanitized. Best carpet cleaning ever from my friends at Zero Res. $33 a room. Call them now for the special. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper in credit card debt? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management will consolidate your accounts and work with your creditors. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360. 1-800-758-5360. 1-800-758-5360.
Our sister station, KLTY, presents Pink Impact. From all over the nation, women are coming together to laugh, to cry, to celebrate. On May 13th and 14th, it's time to join together at the Fort Worth Convention Center for Pink Impact, featuring best-selling author, Bible teacher, and star of the hit movie War Room, Priscilla Shirer, with Christine Kane, Charlotte Gamble, and more. Worship with Carrie Job. We are the light of the world. For tickets, go to pinkimpact.com. That's pinkimpact.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. One of the classified email chains discovered on Hillary Clinton's personal unsecured server discusses an Afghan national's ties to the CIA and reports that he was on the agency's payroll. This, according to a U.S. government official with knowledge of the document. The discussion of a foreign national working on the U.S. government raises security implications. An executive order signed by President Obama and authorized disclosures are presumed to have caused damage to national security. Have you seen how the Taliban kills traitors? The U.S. government official said that Clinton. Let me try this one more time. The U.S. government official said the Clinton email exchange, which referred to a New York Times report, was among 29 classified emails recently provided to the congressional committees, with specific clearances to renew them or review them. In that batch were 22 top secret exchanges deemed too damaging to national security to release. Confirmation that one of these exchanges concerned a reported CIA asset means the emails went beyond issues like the drone strike campaign. Democrats repeatedly have said some of the messages referred to this, reinforcing Clinton's position the documents are overclassified. Based on the timing and other details, the email chain likely refers to either an October 2009 Times story that identified Afghan national Ahmed Wali Karzai, the half-brother of then Afghan President Hamid Karzai, as a person who received regular payments from the Central Intelligence Agency, or an August 2010 Times story that identified Karzai aide Mohammed Zia Salehi as being on the CIA payroll. By the way, did you hear the news that Ahmed Wali Karzai was murdered during a 2011 shootout? Jeez. By the way, the killing was claimed by the Taliban. Probably just a coincidence. Fox News was told the email chain included then Secretary of State Clinton and then Special Envoy to Afghanistan and Pakistan Richard Holbrooke, and possibly others. The basic details of this small exchange, or the email exchange, were backed up to Fox News by a separate U.S. government source who was not authorized to speak on the record. It's unclear who initiated the discussion, Clinton, Holbrooke, or a subordinate. Whether CIA's relationship with the Afghan national was confirmed because the classified data documents are not public. Holbrooke, by the way, died in December 2010 during his service as a special envoy. CIA spokesperson told Fox News they had no comment on the email chain. A spokeswoman for the Office of the Intelligence Community Inspector General also had no comment. Yeah. By the way, the U.S. government's now official count of the Clinton email chain dovetails with a February 3rd interview on Fox News' America's Newsroom, where Representative Chris Stewart, a member of the House Intelligence Committee, said, "I have never read anything more sensitive than what these emails contain. They do reveal classified methods. They do reveal classified sources, and they do reveal human assets." I wonder if any of those human assets are still alive. Buried up to their necks and have their heads crushed with giant rocks, probably. Or they were set on fire, or they were beheaded on a beach, or they were drowned in a cage. Yeah, this is the Wells Report.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, call 1-800-400-8172. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU Online degrees, call 1-800-400-8172. That's 1-800-400-8172.
Do you use a CPAP device for sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your bulky in-home device everywhere you travel? Then you need to know about Transcend, the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It lets you sleep in total comfort anywhere you go. And right now, you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-775-1193. Transcend from minicpap.com is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can sleep comfortably even while flying. Transcend is our smallest, lightest, and most portable mini CPAP design ever, offering all the performance of a bulky standard in-home device. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day in-home trial. 1-800-775-1193. Again, that's 1-800-775-1193.
It's a new year, a new you, and new open carry laws here in the great state of Texas. The last few months have shown us that the world can be a dangerous place, but there are some stores that are here to make sure you are safe. At Texas Gun Pros, we like to make gun safety, gun education, and gun buying a non-intimidating experience. That way, you can focus on how you can protect yourself and your family in 2016. You don't want to be talked down to. You just want to exercise your Second Amendment right. At Texas Gun Pros, we want to help you regardless of your experience level. From beginning handgun classes to the new license to carry, our professionals will work with you at your level to accomplish your training goals. You live in a state that focuses on your individual safety, so why not go to the gun pros of that state? Texas Gun Pros. Visit us on the web at texasgunpros.com or stop by our facility at 5121 Davis Boulevard in North Richland Hills. That's texasgunpros.com.
Hi, I'm Brendan Burchard. Some people call me the world's highest paid motivational trainer, and some people call me crazy because I've just authorized a nationwide giveaway of my recent New York Times bestseller, The Motivation Manifesto. In the next 24 hours, I want to give away as many free books as possible. To get your hardcover copy, call 1-800-600-7769 or go to motivationbook.com. If you want to reach your true potential, personally, professionally, or financially, you need this book. You'll discover how to stop feeling tired and overwhelmed, identify the major enemies keeping you from living your dreams, and learn the secrets to defeating them. I'll teach you my proven strategies to start attaining the levels of drive and personal success you're craving. Financial freedom, emotional freedom, time freedom. Due to high demand, I can only offer one free book per household. To get your free book while supplies last, call now 1-800-600-7769. That's 1-800-600-7769. Or go to motivationbook.com.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more trips to the bathroom, longer time in the bathroom, waking at night to go, or issues in your romantic life. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-952-3467. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to use the bathroom, speed up bathroom trips, reduce waking at night to go, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-952-3467. That's 1-800-952-3467. Call 1-800-952-3467.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. It seems as though, while here in the United States, there is an inability to build a fence that will keep people out of your country, it doesn't seem to be a problem in places like Hungary. Yeah. Prime Minister Viktor Orban says that he knows the best place for the next impenetrable razor wire border fence in Europe. This being reported by the Associated Press. Hungary's right-wing Prime Minister Viktor Orban thinks he knows the best place on Macedonia and Bulgaria's borders with Greece, smack along the main immigration route from the Middle East to Western Europe. He says it's necessary because Greece can't defend Europe from the south against large numbers of refugees. These refugees pour in mainly from Syria and Iraq. The plan is especially controversial because it effectively means eliminating Greece from the Schengen zone, Europe's 26-nation passport-free travel region that is considered one of the European Union's most cherished achievements. Orban's plan, featured prominently, is at a meeting in Prague of leaders from 4 nations in the informal gathering known as the Visegrad Group: Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. The Visegrad Group, formed 25 years ago to further the nation's European integration, is marking that anniversary this week. Still, it has only found a common purpose in its unified opposition to accepting any significant number of migrants. The plan is to build a new European defense line along the border of Bulgaria and Macedonia with Greece as a major foreign policy initiative for the Visegrad Four and an attempt to reestablish itself as a notable political force within the EU. At the meeting last Monday, leaders from the 4 nations were joined by Macedonian President Georg Ivanov and Bulgarian Prime Minister Boyko Borisov, so they can push for reinforcements along Greece's northern border. Macedonia began putting up a first fence in November, is now constructing a second parallel one. After the meeting in Prague, Orban said his country is ready to help those countries that are ready to create a second defense line around the south of Hungary. He also said Hungary fully supports Bulgarian membership in the Schengen zone because it's capable of protecting its borders. He also called for the opening of sensible talks on Macedonia's EU membership. If it were up to only us Central Europeans, that region would have been closed off long ago, Orban said before a news conference. Not for the first time in history do we see Europe as defenseless from the south. That is where we must ensure the safety of the continent. Poland has indicated a willingness to send dozens of police to Macedonia to secure the border, something to be decided sometime this week. If the EU is not active, the Visegrad 4 has to be, says Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico. We have to find effective ways to protecting the border. Notice nobody's saying, well, if it's a 12-foot fence, you only have a market for 14-foot ladders. It's the razor wire part of it. Yeah, that razor wire really does change things, you know. By the way, the leaders are going to try to hash out a unified position ahead of an important EU meeting later this week in Brussels that will take up both migration and Britain's efforts to renegotiate a looser union with the EU. The Visegrad countries have also recently united against British attempts to limit the welfare rights of European workers, something that would affect hundreds of thousands of their citizens who now live and work in Britain. By the way, in case you're wondering, in the countries that are most affected by this immigrant influx, specifically Germany, there are now vigilante groups beginning to form. They are taking an example from Russian men in a Russian town way north that had a bunch of guys, bunch of immigrants go into their town and essentially start molesting the women there. The Arabian men were found in hospitals scattered throughout that particular part of Russia, all with similar memories or lack thereof of how they got there. Their bodies were covered with significant contusions, bruises, cuts, some requiring medical attention. And pinned to their shirts were maps teaching them to go back to Cologne, which is where there was an infamous attack over the New Year's on women in Germany by men of this same demographic group. Apparently, the Germans thought that was a very good idea. I noticed that they had created a uniform per se. It was reminiscent of the Black Panther motorcycle jackets and berets that the Black Panthers used to wear and wear now. Isn't it amazing that no matter just how far you choose to go in any of this, isn't it amazing that at some point people will govern themselves? Isn't it odd? The answer is, of course, no, it's not odd. It's perfectly and completely understandable. But this is what happens when politicians with an idea that would essentially make them famous step into a reality unwanted by their own citizens. It's a bad idea. A bad idea. Here's what I want to do. I have long said that Ben Carson is someone who may not necessarily end up with a Republican nomination for president, but is somebody that we ought to listen to. He has written an op-ed piece that I think you should hear, that I think resonates with lots of the things that you hear here on the Wells Report. For 7 years, we've all watched as America's global leadership has declined and radical Islamic terrorists spread around the world. The explosion of this global ideology of violent extremism is only accelerating, and it is that men, women, and children are paying the price for our ineffective action and failure to lead. What will it take for American leaders to wake up to the true nature of radical Islamic terrorism? Even after horrifying attacks in San Bernardino, California, President Obama refuses to acknowledge this threat for what it is: a radical ideology that seeks to violently impose Islam on others and supplant existing cultures and duly constituted governments around the world. We cannot defeat the Islamic State and other brands of radical Islamic terrorism until we confront this truth. Instead, we have an ineffectual strategy without direction and without dedication. While bombs fall around Raqqa, Syria, enclaves of the would-be Islamic State Caliphate have sprung up in Libya and other North African nations, as well as the Gaza Strip and even Pakistan. Unless we act now, these ISIS loyalists will only entrench their positions as they work to meet each other in the middle. These are not just the ambitions of faraway madmen. Around the world, people are working to advance this ideology, not just in the Middle East, but here in America as well. Whether through violent attacks like San Bernardino or the shooting of police near Philadelphia, or through social lawfare tactics designed to silence criticism and advance the goal of impending Sharia, Islamic Jihad has already reached our shores. For example, the Council of American Islamic Relations, CARE, has been operating in the U.S. for more than 20 years. Although CARE claims to represent peaceful Muslims and civil rights issues, its history lies directly or ties directly to the terrorist organization, the Muslim Brotherhood, and Hamas. CARE was named as an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation funding of terrorist attacks. Several prominent members and founders have been incarcerated or deported for fraud and terrorism charges. And the countries of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates have designated it a terrorist organization. And here is where Dr. Ben Carson gets to the point. Quote, "As president, I will declare war on the Islamic State." That is not exactly an accurate statement. Only the Congress can declare war. As president, he will request a declaration of war on the Islamic State. Most disturbing of all is the revelation during the Holy Land trial of a strategic document that called on members to conduct a civilizational jihad to impose Sharia law in the United States. This is not representative of Muslim Americans, but rather of the terrorist organizations to which some are tied. We must fight this radical Islamic ideology wherever we find it, and by every means at our disposal. We must destroy terrorist movements like ISIS around the world, while countering radical Islamic ideology here in the United States. No group can subjugate the U.S. Constitution to their will. Recognizing the complex nature of this threat, I have put forward a plan to address radical Islamic terrorism, from ISIS fighters in Syria and Iraq to even nonviolent jihad in the U.S. and elsewhere. Winning this fight will not be easy, but if we, the people, unite behind the cause of freedom and American values, I know we will prevail. This is hardly the first time the United States has been threatened by radical ideologies. Just as with Nazism and Soviet communism, the American people will prove too resilient to be defeated by expansionist and oppressive regimes like ISIS. As president, I will declare war on the Islamic State, taking back the territory through which it claims legitimacy. I will destroy the means by which it gains revenue, cut off the supply routes on which it relies, and I will work with regional partners and local forces, including displaced Syrian men, to take back that country from jihadists. At the same time, I will work with allies and partners in Europe and North Africa to halt the advance of Islamic State in the Maghreb and turn back the growing tide of radical Islam across the continent. The movement is global, and our efforts must match it in scale and intensity. This fight extends far beyond the legitimate borders of the Islamic State, or the illegitimate borders of the Islamic State, and the soldiers they have recruited. My plan will leverage every American strength, diplomatic, economic, political, and cultural, to combat radicalization and ensure that no country provides safe harbor for terrorism. In the U.S., I will work tirelessly to defend our way of life from those who wish to destroy it. That means not only investigating groups like CARE, but securing our borders to ensure that terrorists do not have a pathway to the homeland. Unlike President Obama, I will not allow a stream of poorly vetted people from Syria to come to the U.S. On the contrary, I will establish refugee safe zones in Syria and neighboring countries so that refugees are provided for but are also ready to return home when it's safe for them to do so. A president's most solemn vow is to protect the people whose country has been entrusted to him. This plan is my promise to uphold the American security to my utmost, confronting the worst threats head on. Radical Islamic terrorism is the greatest threat we face today, but with the support of the American people, there is no challenge too great for us to overcome. Dr. Ben Carson. Good for him. Now, you may not agree with all of that. I happen to agree with all of that because I've been saying it for, what, a year? Something like that. What we need to do is we need to start taking this seriously. They are taking it seriously. This is a job that they are willing to do. We must be willing to stop them. And we must be willing to stop them harshly and in a way that leaves absolutely no ambiguity as to what will happen if somebody tries it again in the future. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers more than 100 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserved in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 100 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at Walker AC. The AC stands for air conditioning. It'll be a little while before we need that again. In the meantime, it's heat that is at issue. And let me tell you, Walker AC is my heating company as well. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating at walkerac.com and the magic phone number 972-4, Walker, 972-4-Walker. These are the people to go to when your system needs fixing, when your system needs replacing. They're never going to sell you a system you don't need. They're going to do the repairs right at a fair price. If they can't fix it, they'll tell you about it and introduce you to the best price on the best system for you. It's people you can trust. Isn't that what it's all about? Trust with AC and heating, and Walker AC is there for you at walkerac.com and 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER. If something's just not working right, if things are chilly when they shouldn't be, your heater's not working, give them a call, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or walkerac.com.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now, 1-800-953-9975. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-953-9975. That's 1-800-953-9975. 1-800-953-9975.
Pop quiz for all business owners. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, which one of these can you lose? Your home, your car, or your life savings? The answer? All three. Because if you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued, it's you too, which means you could lose everything. Once business owners realize the risk of not being incorporated, they usually scramble to incorporate or form an LLC. To make it quick and easy, Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate in just 10 minutes. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now, 1-800-733-1035. Protect your financial future. At Incorporate.com, they don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide. 1-800-733-1035. Hurry while supplies last. 1-800-733-1035. That's 1-800-733-1035.
In these uncertain times, you can't afford to take chances. So come on out to the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend, February 20th and 21st at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to protect yourself and your family. Guns, knives, ammo, accessories, survival supplies, and much, much more, all in a safe, fun, and family-friendly environment. Parking is free, so be sure to come on out and buy, sell, or trade at the Tier 1 Gun Show this weekend at the Mesquite Rodeo Convention Center. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Visit tier1gunshow.com. That's tier1gunshow.com. Be there.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. As we leave this evening, I want to express my sincere condolences and sympathies to those lost today. The 28 people who were killed in an explosion targeting Turkish military buses carrying personnel, killed 28, wounded 61 others in the capital city of Ankara, Turkey. Government officials called the intricately planned act an act of terror. The U.S. Embassy in Ankara advised duck and cover following the early afternoon explosion. We believe that those who have lost their lives included our military brothers as well as civilians, the Deputy Prime Minister said. The buses were waiting at traffic lights at an intersection, the Turkish military said, while condemning the contemptible and dastardly attack. 2 military vehicles caught fire. Dozens of ambulances were sent to the scene. Dark smoke could be seen billowing from a distance. It wasn't clear who was behind the bombing. Ambassador Bass, deeply saddened, shocked by the terror attack in Ankara. Our hearts and prayers go with those affected. Hear, hear. God bless them all. May we get to the end of this quickly. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. God bless you. Take care of yourself. We'll see you again later for another edition of the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. But you know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
We've had some voting. We've had some debating. Now it's time for Texans to weigh in on the 2016 presidential race. The candidates are ready. Our state is ready. The question is, are you ready for the final debate before the Texas primary?
I know I'm ready, JD, and we're hoping everybody's fired up for our last debate watch party before Texas votes. It's Thursday night, February 25th, and we'll put it up on the big screen at 660 a.m. The Answer Debate Headquarters, Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas.
Mark Davis and I will be your hosts. The full Studio Movie Grill menu is available. Admission is just just $10. Get your tickets now at 660amtheanswer.com. If you've become a regular for our debate events, or if this is just your first time, get ready to hear from the candidates and the audience.
We look forward to welcoming you and hearing from you February 25th. Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley. Tickets just $10 now at 660amtheanswer.com.
Don't miss the last debate watch party before the Texas primary. That's Thursday, February 25th at the Studio Movie Grill in Dallas. This event is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services, Texas Alliance for Life, and Patriot Mobile.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says he'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit. So rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with the utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. The White House expected to announce Thursday that President Obama will visit Cuba next month. It would mark the first official U.S. state visit by a president to the island nation in nearly 90 years.
A visit by President Obama could be seen as an official acceptance of the Castro regime for the first time since Jack Kennedy initiated what we now call the embargo.
Fox's Evan Brown in Miami. Earlier this week, the U.S. and Cuba signing an agreement to open up commercial air travel between the two countries. A man wanted in the murders of two family members in suburban Indianapolis kills himself.
State police say 61-year-old Lucius Oliver Hamilton III was found dead of self-inflicted gunshot wounds in a downtown Indianapolis hotel room Wednesday, 1 block from the State House.
Fox's Joe Chiaro. Hamilton had been the subject of a manhunt following the discovery of the bodies of his niece and her son. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. The Michael Medved Show.
The popular rapper Killer Mike versus Hillary Clinton's uterus. Why is this suddenly an issue in the Democratic presidential campaign? We'll tell you Thursday on the Medved Show. And a top humanist activist says we not only have to get rid of under God, we have to get rid of the whole darn Pledge of Allegiance. What would Bernie say? Next time on the Medved Show.
The Michael Medved Show. Afternoons at 5, right after the Sean Hannity Show at 2. 660 AM, The Answer.
When it comes to your money, it's a jungle out there. Don't go into the jungle without a guide. Tune into the Financial Safari Radio Show with Coach Pete and local advisor Steve Meeks every Saturday at 5 p.m. Coach Pete and Steve will guide you safely through the financial jungle out there. They believe the more you know, the better prepared you'll be when it comes to your financial life. So listen to Coach Pete and Steve Meeks on the Financial Safari Radio Show this Saturday at 5 p.m. on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says he'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit. So rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with the utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. I love birthdays and anniversaries, always a time to celebrate, and they are celebrating 15 years at Abacus Foundation Repair, 15 years of serving North Texas. Now, this celebration is about to come to an end. People have been enjoying it too. You know what they've done? $1,000 off any foundation job with 10 or more pilings. And these are no ordinary pilings. We're talking about Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. So call about that $1,000 off offer at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. Call Abacus first if you even think you got a foundation problem. Cracks in the sheetrock, doors that stick. 972-406-9000. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation person on site at all times. You will be taken care of. 972-406-9000 or Abacus, ABACUS, Abacus Foundation Repair. The Abacus, little thing you can count on. Get it? You can count on Abacus. AbacusFoundationRepair.com. 972-406-9000.
Dude, do you hear that? What is that? That doesn't sound good. Oh man, this isn't good at all. Hold on. Let me see what this does. Is it better?
Nope. I'm pretty sure this is the opposite of better. Man, what are we gonna do? This is awful.
Looks like you need the help of American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Oh, man, it's Will Nell with American Leak Detection.
Save us!
No worries, guys. American Leak Detection has been around for more than 25 years detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home. Plus, we do all this without cutting huge holes in your wall.
Thanks, American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection. Leak detection without destruction.
Just go to alddfw.com next time to get a hold of us. It's much easier.
American Leak Detection.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer.